and welcome to another update of the ION team updates, the weekly updates that we do here. My name's Connor and I'm working in operations at ION. I'm joined by my colleagues Sim and Thing Thing, and we're introducing Thing Thing this week. She's working in marketing at ION, and it's good to have them all here. So getting into it this week, the first sort of major update that we've got, and the first sort of thing from my end, is a couple of listings. The Nexi listing, which has done really well and we're really excited about. And we hope that you guys are all getting on the exchange and supporting us there and getting our trading volume up, which is important for us at the moment in these early stages. And we've also got the listing at Orion, and Orion's a new listing on a decentralized exchange, a separate exchange. But we're really, really excited about the Nexi one. And we should have some trading competitions coming up, hopefully, in the future. And hopefully some trading competitions at Gate as well, which we're really excited about. That's sort of a major sort of thing that we've been working on for the last couple of weeks as well, is getting the trading volume up and getting a little bit more exposure on exchanges. And we've got more exchange news coming over the next couple of weeks as well as we work towards that. Sim, I don't know if you've got anything else to add to the listing stuff or the with listing news or Thing in relation to that, how successful we were with some of those stuff.
No, I think like sorry, actually, Thing, do you want to also introduce yourself as well?
Yeah, I think it's good to put the name on all the texting that are going on between Twitter chat and all these things. Yes, on the Twitter it's me. So everyone who is texting us, who actually needs to ask certain questions and would like to know more about marketing and want to, share with us your collaboration plan or any kind of proposal, feel free to send your text to Twitter, and also just join our Discord chat and also our Telegram to reach out to me and everyone else on the team as well.
Yeah, and I guess on the Mexi stuff, Connor, too. Yeah, so I think you and I in particular were like really pleased with the result from the listing. I think it was we'd been looking at the option for a while to just expand venues for the token, and Mexi came along and they were sort of a partner that we had some discussions in the TG stage as well, and we like that platform, and they're close to the sort of the family. They're fairly active with hot and holochain community as well. So so we took the plunge and have listed on them, and it's been a great result in terms of trading volume and just building a bit of robustness around the token and the trading around the token. So super happy.
And it's not something that we had completely sorted out, like it's been a couple of months of good research to make this happen and see whether it would deliver the results that we were looking for. So it's been really interesting to get it going, and I'm really pleased with the results as well that we've sort of had. It'd be great to get even more volume and get everyone on there and get some of the competitions going, which will help incentivize. But I think just speaking with our advisors and things, it's been a long sort of journey in getting to these points, these sort of milestones, and it's good to reflect on them and reflect when we do have these wins. So I think it's a really positive thing. I think it's something really good that we can take forward, and we can sort of hit the ground running with some of the other exchanges that we're in talks with and looking to target as well. So we've learned a lot, and I think it's really valuable, the sort of steps we took and some of the results that we saw from that.
Just the other one, just to add on the end of that too, Connor, I reckon, is like our strategy around listing. We're definitely trying to be strategic in our listing approach and make sure we select and move with venues that are close to our community and close to our sort of base, rather than just a sort of like any listing strategy. We're trying to be very strategic there. So and Mexi really fit into that category for us. So just letting the community know that that's something that underpins our strategy. We want to be deliberate and strategic about these moves. So yeah, that's an important one as well.
You know, Mexi's a top 20 exchange, and I think that sort of played into it as well. We want to target those high quality sort of exchange projects. That was a core sort of concern with us when we made those decisions, those strategy decisions. And they are sort of the concerns going forward as well that we have to take into account. Another sort of major thing that we're working on at the moment and looking to deliver is the NFT project for some of our initial investors and initial supporters of ION. Sim, do you have an update on that front as we get to look to get that delivered?
Yeah, for sure. So some of those, the unlocking of some of those staking contracts has already started for the realization of that NFT campaign, and that was around the Mahama refugee camp in Rwanda, and like really proud of that initiative actually, and really proud of the community for the support around that initiative. I think there's I'm not going to say a number, I can't remember the number, but there's a significant amount of capital that'll go to that refugee camp. And
I think it was closing in on sort of 30,000 US, or around that number, 25-30,000, which is really positive.
I think you're right. Yeah. So we're right at the moment. Some are probably wondering what's happening with their NFT, but we're in discussions with the Mahama camp at the Mesh Power who manage the grid at this Mahama camp at the moment. So we're having discussions with them. We have all the NFT assets ready. The real the thing that we're shoring up at the moment is making sure that we're ready for the extension of this campaign. So we have about another 10 or so potentials in the pipeline, but we're just preparing a go-to-market strategy for the actual for an extension of on the back of this pilot that we did. So for those investors, the NFT will be coming soon with some other announcements around the Mahama initiative, just as we clarify that sort of extension of that campaign, because we just want to make sure that the NFT that we mentioned released for this initial tranche has value in the extension of the campaign, and provides a nice baseline for that. So yeah, exactly. Probably in the next week or so, we'll be running hard on that, and those who have invested in that campaign should expect some comms coming very soon.
Yeah, we're in constant sort of comms with the people that it affects, and it's really important that we get it right the first time and create sort of that pipeline to ensure we've got the avenue for future releases and things like that. So, you know, with anything on the first time or the first run, there's going to be a little bit of delays. This one was delayed about a month or so. We're pretty transparent about it all, and we've been speaking and had our communication open the whole time. In the grand scheme of things, a month really isn't that big of a delay when it comes to these sort of big campaigns, but it's still something that, you know, you know, there's a good reason, and it's so that we can ensure that there's a bit of value behind what we're doing, and to ensure that the release goes well in the future as well, you know, with all the rest of the NFT stuff.
Yeah, just another snippet on the NFT as well. So one thing we have been having some pretty deep conversations about recently is obviously the situation in Ukraine. So we've been speaking to a few partners and collaborators on potentially leveraging some of the NFT that NFT campaign as well to support providing power to some people in need in the middle of that mess. So so that's another conversation that we're having around the extension of that NFT campaign. So it's really garnered some interest, and it's a pretty interesting model. So yeah, stand by. There'll be a lot more coming on that very shortly.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. Thing anything you have to add with the NFT stuff?
Yeah, I think especially with what Sim mentioned just now about the Ukraine, like I mentioned just now about our channel on Discord. Actually, we have a lot of very capable, very highly technical and what do you call that, community who have got expertise in NFT as well. And I think we could really use some of your help and also ideas and suggestions. So just feel free to join our Discord channel. We have a project idea channel that can help support us to launch this campaign in Ukraine. Maybe we can do something that is really valuable and impactful over there. So yeah, we welcome all your suggestions and feedback ideas, really.
Definitely, yeah. And it's been good to see the Discord channel growing. It's been growing relatively slowly, but it has been growing, and that's really positive. And we're really excited with everyone that's come and joined us over there. All three of us are on there, so it's good you get to speak with us if you really want to. Tell us what we're doing right, tell us what we're doing wrong.
Yes, no, I think that would be very helpful. It's been good. And perhaps grow some beards together.
Yeah, exactly. help Sim and I develop our
It's the key update for the week.
Yeah.
Join the beard club.
Yeah. It's a fundamental part of the ION principles. No, it's yeah, we're really excited by Discord, and it's been really cool to see that community grow. And we're excited to sort of add more stuff as we go along as well. So some really interesting conversations on there, and some really interesting sort of comments that we're getting. And we're able to just expand a bit more as the project and sort of what we're building over here, which is really, really cool. And something that does get a bit lost in some of the quick messaging stuff like Telegram. And even though we are there, you know, and you can still get in touch with us there. The Discord is where we like to be. Just a nicer place. You'll see what we mean if you come over. Yeah, so it's sort of been that's sort of the updates for the week done. It's you know, we don't have a huge long list of updates like we do in some weeks. It was a big sort of update last week and the week before, but you know, this is a slow burning project and it's going to take some time. So we're going to have weeks like this where we're just giving you some updates as to what's going on, but we still want to make sure that we're as transparent as possible with the team, and we're still, you know, we're still here, we're still working on it, this is our lives, this is what we're doing day to day. So we're just have our heads down and we're getting stuff done with the development and things like that. As far as the development goes, Sim, do you have any updates with that? Or, I mean, I know that we are sort of really deep in that development cycle at the moment.
Look, so we're in a real foundational shoring up stage. So that the protocol obviously was released, and that's live and available in the GitHub for anyone who wants to participate and contribute. That would be great, or star our repo or whatever you. That would be also great. But yeah, we're really just working away on building out the features at the moment and the documentation. So we've gone live with the V10, and now it's beefing it up around. So I know Phil and the team have been working in particular on some tools, some user interface tools in particular, as well as some of those core features. One of the big things that's been a real focus at the moment is obviously that protocol is based on the Holochain platform or protocol, and that has the Holochain have just come in leaps and bounds, and they're moving so rapidly that they're doing some insane performance testing at the moment. They're adding features left, right, and center. So we're constantly looking to try and integrate and exploit some of those features in the next upgrades to the protocol. And that's going to be an ongoing process because they will continue to move fast. So really, that's kind of where we're at with the protocol release at the moment. The other thing about the release is we're looking to get closer to the hollow, sort of the hollow, almost a mirror, you would call it, of many of the features of the way the IOEN protocol works is very closely based on how Hollow is built. So so we're getting closer with the Hollow team and some of that group to share ideas and collaborate in that space as well. But yeah, that's I guess a sort of a vague answer on where we're at with the protocol. I think the other thing that we're really interested in amping up and getting going over these next coming weeks will be getting you guys in the community and other experts out there around our project, helping to contribute and contribute ideas and code to the project. So we're having a few discussions to work on some campaigns around that and some ways to foster a community there. So just be on the lookout for that as well, because I think that'll be probably part of the next update. Yeah,
creating some incentives to help people get on board and just get involved and get their hands dirty with a bit of code. It'll be really important. And yeah, it's really exciting. We're just working out some of the stuff in the system there for that. No, that's really good. I think you know that's where we're at with the development stuff. It's really cool to see the holochain stuff develop as well, because they're a lot of the leaps and bounds that they sort of take and the steps they take. It just applies so great to what we're building at ION, and it's just creating a more lightweight system that'll just run much better for us and for the ION community as well, which is really cool. Cool. Well, let's end up with a couple of questions and we'll wrap it up. This question has to be for you, Sim, of course. It is from Red Post Hill, who says, what was the light bulb moment that inspired you to launch ION?
A light bulb moment. Unintended. Yeah.
Yeah, when did the power come on?
Light bulb.
So I wasn't really I don't think it was one particular moment for us. Like we or for me in particular. So really, I came from the blockchain space originally, out of don't judge me, but out of sort of banking, payments and markets technology was my old life. And then I was got pretty obsessed and fell down the rabbit hole with blockchain and moved into energy with Red Grid. And really we sort of spent probably maybe 6 to 8 months of Red Grid looking to apply blockchain solutions in the energy space, because it's clear that energy is becoming more decentralized, becoming more distributed. Australia in particular is on track to have the most distributed grid around the globe, just because of our geography and high sun penetration. So we're heading that direction, and that's no one can argue with that. That's the direction the world is heading. And I thought blockchain in particular, being decentralized, was a software was kind of a nice treatment, for a nice match for that technology, but it didn't really, it was just always something missing. And Mike actually introduced holochain and this concept of agent-based to Adam and I originally, and sort of pitched it to us. And it took a bit of understanding and learning, but just everywhere you look, it kind of combined the benefits of both. It had the benefits of blockchain without the constraints of a global ledger or and that sort of adaptable, configurable consensus model is much more applicable to a local grid.
Yeah.
So I think it was probably Mike sort of spending a few times trying to drum holochain into my brain and train my brain about what it actually meant. And I think like there was a video by a guy called Matt Shute from Holochain, who did a presentation on just agent-centric approach to software. And like, if there was a penny drop moment, that was the one that sort of went, okay, this is cool. This is perfect for energy, and the solution needs to match the problem. And sort of blockchain and server-based technologies are just kicking the can towards the wall in energy. Then they're not going to scale. They're not going to work, in my opinion. I know that's probably going to razz some people up, me saying that, but I don't think they're going to work, and they're not going to scale. And they're not adaptable enough. So yeah, I think that was kind of the penny drop. But that's a long-winded circular answer, but that's kind of not one moment. There was many of them. But yeah.
I hope we can have a Twitter war from here then.
I don't want one of them. Yeah.
Yes.
But,
okay.
yeah.
No, that's good. It brought us all here, and now we're all working on something really cool. So I like it. I like it a lot. Raz U BTC says, when the Binance listing? Well, as soon as we can really. The way that listings work is there's a bunch of metrics that every exchange will look at, and we need to hit those certain criteria in order to meet their sort of listing goals and listing wants. So they don't just look at just the project itself and whether the project has merit. They look at the token and the tokenomics and the utility of the token. And then there's a bunch of regulatory stuff, and all the suits get involved and all the legal side of things. So I used to work for an exchange, and I used to do a lot of the token listings and doing the token reviews. So it's just about getting ION in the right direction at the moment, and it's about ensuring that our token fits that criteria, so that when we do hit those other targets, the targets that we can't necessarily control right now, the targets like volume, the targets like the other exchanges that we're on, the targets like the amount of wallet holders, the amount of community participants, the amount of people contributing to the code, all these extra things that the exchange will look at, an exchange like Binance does look at. When we have it all together, and when we're at the right time and we're able to list, then we'll be able to list on Binance. So, we've spoken with Binance Australia specifically, one of the people who work for Binance. So we've got contact with them. We've got an open forum and can chat with them whenever we like. But we also completely understand their position of taking on projects that meet a pretty high standard, and a standard that we're working towards and that we will get to, but a standard that we're not at yet. We're only a few months old as a project, and we've got a while to go to hit those standard points. But because we have them, because of the people that we work with, and because of the people that I work with, I know that we'll be able to get there in time. So it's definitely something we're working towards, and definitely something we're looking to achieve. The question really is when. And that's your question too. There's no specific answer, but we know what we need to do to get there. So it's a really long path with a lot of steps. It's not as simple as just us applying. There's a lot of things to take into account, and we're ticking them off. We're going through, and we're getting our ducks in order and ensuring that we can list with them. So it's something we want, and yeah, we're talking with them about it, and we'll get it done when we get it done, but we don't have a specific date, and we certainly don't know when. We just know what we have to do, and it's a lot of stuff, so that's what we're working towards. I don't know if you guys want to add anything to that, or
yeah, I get the only thing I would say as well is yeah, just like harping back to the stuff we said before about being deliberate and strategic as well. Like one of the things that each listing does take a bit of energy to establish and to run. So we've got a real focus on building the project and the protocol and the utility around the actual mini grid, microgrid adoption and mini grid adoption of the software. So that's kind of the focal point at the moment. And doing that stuff right gets you in a position where the listings sort of start to take care of themselves. So
yeah, exactly.
So that's the only other thing we'd add as well. Just focusing on building a lot as well. So
yeah, one step at a time.
That's right. Yeah.
Absolutely. So just to wrap it up, we've got the final question, which is from Deodrana. I think Deodrana. Probably pronounced that wrong, but I don't really mind. You've made a complicated name. What function does SolShare fulfill within the ION platform? This is SolShare has been working with RedGrid for a bit of time, so we've got a bit of a relationship there. And Sim, you'll be able to answer this question the best, I think.
Yeah, so like SolShare, in some ways, it's sort of considered them almost a sister company to RedGrid, who helped implement the ION protocol. So SolShare, we started working with them as RedGrid a couple of years ago, and they were featured in this documentary called 2040 about reaching global net zero by 2040 and sort of innovations around the world that are helping to achieve that, and SolShare was one, and we supported them in that. So they've been with us for and a supporter with us for quite a while. They're really our initial project with them was actually one of the seeds that spawned the concept of the Internet of Energy, actually, where we got we did a pilot with them where they run they deal in energy poverty basically, and basically around Bangladesh is their core, where the company's from, but they create what's called Nano Grids, where it's basically solar panels across the village with cords meshed around, and they create a grid for these places that don't currently have energy. And they've got probably, I think at last count, there was over 100 of these grids that they actually maintain and manage and run their infrastructure. So they're a really successful business, and they're making a difference and an impact. But we did a pilot project with them where we took we used some accounting at the local grid level and demonstrated how a user of through a utility in Germany who was producing excess solar could take that value and donate it to not just a grid in Bangladesh, but an individual in a home with a meter. They could donate that energy to that specific individual and learn about that person's story and send that energy towards them. So we did a pilot for them, and it was Sebastian from SoulShare showed it at Silicon Valley to a bunch of people, and it was a nice success. But that sort of spawned the idea of ION. Actually, that was part of the beginning. So yeah, they're a really important player, and they're a big player in the worlds of microgrids and what they call nano grids. But exactly the participant in the Internet of Energy ecosystem that we just complement each other so well. So really, I would say they're a super key partner, and we're like super excited to be working with them initially on with some of the NFT stuff. And I think there's an AMA with Sebastian planned in coming days. But really,
so
really great company.
Would you say that sort of SoulShare's a lot of the hardware stuff and the physical battery stuff, and where the software, ION's the software side of things?
That's exactly right. Yeah. So they have a.
So you can see just how complementary it is. Like that's sort of how important the partnership is.
Yes. Yeah. That's exactly right. They do mainly the hardware and the infrastructure. So, and the interesting thing about SoulShare is a lot of their grids they do. In these small communities, they've found that little economies spring up around basically energy trading within these nano grids. People charging phones and doing those sort of things. So they're seeing exactly what we envisage the future to look like. Globally. So yeah, it's a real good compliment.
You can basically pay someone to charge your phone off their own little microgrid.
That's
sort
exactly
of that just proves the sort of the small little ecosystems that ION is sort of writing the software for, right? Creating these little transactions between two players within a grid specifically for energy. So it's a really interesting sort of use case, and it's an interesting project as well. So I think that they do serve a pretty core sort of function in that example, and ION's protocol as well. ION's software has a core function at the foundational level, right? So what we're building with ION, of course, is a foundational level, an open source protocol that anyone can use, and that's that fits into that system in that way.
Exactly. Yeah.
Cool. I think that's it from the updates this week, guys. Thanks, Sim. Thanks, Thing, for jumping in and having a chat with me and having a chat with everyone who's watching this. Not a lot else to say. Hang in there. We're still working our asses off. We're still getting everything done, and we'll have many more updates in the future. Exciting times. We're seeing some good sort of progress with the token as well, which is cool. So keep pumping that. Keep holding on to ION, and we'll keep delivering on our side.
Thanks, everyone.
All right. Thanks, guys.